We're live. It's Friday night, which means it's time for Friday Night SmackDown, the first Friday Night SmackDown watch-along we've done here on the channel. So I'm quite excited about this one. It's been a ridiculously busy news week when it comes to any professional wrestling news, not just WWE, but certainly WWE have been stealing their headlines once again this week, today, when it comes to a variety of topics, which we'll get into during the live stream, during the watch-along tonight. I hope everyone is doing very, very well. We just got the news over here in the UK that it looks like we're going into national lockdown for the second time in the coming days. Hasn't been an official announcement, and it looks like that's going to happen soon. So there's going to be a lot of craziness going on. There's so much craziness going on in the world at the moment, isn't there? But a few things I do want to talk about before we get on the air for SmackDown, which starts in about 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes or so. Obviously, this is the post Hell in a Cell edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Hell in a Cell was this past Sunday, so that means we've got some post Hell in a Cell ramifications tonight on SmackDown. We've also got Survivor Series on the horizon. We saw Monday night on Raw that Raw have started their qualifying matches when it comes to the men's Survivor Series team that will go up against SmackDown at Survivor Series in November. We've also seen the formation of the women's Raw Survivor Series team. I'm guessing we'll get an update on that tonight. We do have a few things confirmed for tonight's card, so let's get into what's been announced by WWE. I will mention this, because this just sums it up. This just sums it up, because pandemic or not, WWE, they never change. They never, ever change, because there was a tweet by Brian Alvarez that went out about an hour or so ago saying that WWE had just finished writing the show. So they just finished writing the show at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Bear in mind, the show goes on the air at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is just... Imagine that work environment. Imagine that work environment. The writers, they get a lot of criticism, and rightfully so. Some of the stuff that is written for these Raws and SmackDowns, some of the promos, some of the storylines are, quite frankly, terrible. I mean, I could think of a lot of other words, not YouTube friendly, but terrible is certainly the one I would use to describe some of the writing performances over the last few years for WWE. But you do sympathise with them because they obviously have a show mapped out. You would like to think they have a show mapped out, and then it just gets torn up. You know, you go, right, we've got everything written, right, the promo's done, yep, storyline's done, yep, the match is mapped out, yep, so we're ready to go. There's about, a couple of hours to go for the show, and then the 75-year-old maniac Vince McMahon comes in and goes, nope, terrible, rip it, throw it away. Imagine that's what you've been working on all week. I know we don't have separate creative teams at this point. We have one creative team that does Raw and SmackDown, overseen by Bruce Pritchard, but nevertheless, you would think that they have some element of foreplanning when it comes to what they're going to do for certain segments and certain matches, and then it just gets ripped up. And it feels like Groundhog Day. I mentioned that we're going over here in the UK into a second lockdown, but it must feel like Groundhog Day every week for these writers, because they write something, probably full well knowing that at the end of it, it's not going to make it to TV anyway, because it's going to get ripped up by Vince McMahon anyway. I remember in the last few days, it was maybe at least the last 6 months of SmackDown Live on the USA Network. It felt like, so you had Monday night on Raw, which would go, I would say smoothly, but that's probably not the case. But you would have Raw, and then Tuesday, basically, you would get to about this time, about 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and he would just sort of go 3, 2, 1. Then a flood of tweets, posts, whatever, stories would come out. SmackDown's being rewritten. SmackDown, this is being rewritten. Oh, in the first hour, the second hour is being written. It felt like a Groundhog Day every week, and it's kind of stopped since SmackDown moved to Fox, because when moving to Fox, SmackDown became the A show. So it was all of the focus of Vince McMahon and the WWE brain trust there. It was their main focus, so they planned that one. And then these last-minute rewrites, we don't know what's going on, the second hour's been rewritten when the first hour's on the air, that moved over to Raw. We've seen that a lot with Raw recently of, it's being rewritten, they don't know what's going on, chaos backstage, because Raw was at this point is the B show. It doesn't have that much attention put to it, so it's craziness going on backstage on Raw. But now it's moved over to SmackDown, and the indicator that this story is about to come out as a grizzled wrestling fan at this point, and someone that follows this kind of stuff, the indicator that the story of, well, they've just finished writing the show is about to come out, is when you have no announcements about what's actually going to happen for SmackDown or Raw. And that's exactly what we had with SmackDown today. There was nothing announced in terms of matches for SmackDown until a couple of hours ago, when obviously they finished the script so they could actually announce what was going to be on the show. Before that, all you knew is these very vague things that just sort of come off Hell in a Cell, but very vague and you can't really look into. We usually like to do sort of SmackDown previews here on the channel, but you couldn't do them. You couldn't do them because you didn't know what's going to happen. It would be the two things that they've sort of hyped up throughout the week is, what are the consequences now? Jey Uso, he quit at Hell in a Cell. We'll have to see some consequences there. That's not announcing anything. That's not previewing anything. That is literally, we don't know what we're going to do. We'll figure it out later on. And then after that, you have the other thing that they were announcing was Sasha Banks is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. We'll see what happens there. Again, that's not announcing anything. That's not announcing anything. That's just restating what happened at Hell in a Cell. So there was no announcements there. But we do have some matches, finally, that have been announced. They were announced a couple of hours ago. And like with Monday Night Raw, they do factor into Survivor Series and the Survivor Series team, specifically on the SmackDown Men's Survivor Series team, because we have 2 Survivor Series qualifying matches tonight. We have Jey Uso, the man who went through a Hell in a Cell match only a few days ago and quit against his cousin Roman Reigns in that Universal Championship I Quit match. He is going to be going up against Daniel Bryan. And the second SmackDown Survivor Series qualifying match will have Kevin Owens facing off against Dolph Ziggler. So Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan, that is an interesting one. That is something that I am very much looking forward to. I think that could be a lot of fun. Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan, that could be something quite interesting and quite special, and maybe those last minute rewrites for SmackDown might actually pay off. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, I'm not going to say like it's a terrible match, because it's not. They are both excellent workers, but I just feel like that's one of those matches that it'll be a fine match. It's a TV match, but it doesn't really just do anything for me, because I feel like, I don't know off the top of my head if we've seen it a lot, but it feels like we have. And I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, because maybe we haven't seen Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler a lot, but it just feels like that match that is the typical sort of TV match. What are we going to do? What's Dolph Ziggler doing tonight? Yeah, he can face Kevin Owens. We'll put him against Kevin Owens. That's what that one feels like to me. It certainly feels like that might be the case there. I don't know if that is, but nevertheless, we're getting Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler tonight. Again, it's fine, but just doesn't really do anything for me. CM Punk, nice name. CM Punk says, is Baron Corbin returning? I don't know. Is King Corbin? I haven't checked Twitter in the last few minutes. I've been getting ready for the stream. Have they put a thing out about King Corbin or Baron Corbin? Again, it's one of those characters. It just doesn't do anything for me. The whole King of the Ring gimmick is so outdated. So outdated. That even in the 1990s, this is what confuses me with stuff like this, is in the 1990s, in the Attitude Era, you had them essentially drop the King gimmick of the King of the Ring. When you had Triple H win it, you had Ken Shamrock win it, you had Edge win it, Billy Gunn, all of these guys won it. Kurt Angle, he wore the crown for a little bit, but not massively. You had all these guys win it, and then they didn't walk around with a scepter and a crown and a cape and say, I'm the king. Because that gimmick is stuck in the 1980s. And they realised times are changing, we need to change with the times. And then for some reason, WWE and Vince McMahon just reverted. They just stopped evolving and devolved, if anything, and went back to it. And the only person that's been able to pull off that king gimmick with the crown and all that was King Booker. And the point was that he was so over the top that it worked. Anyone else has been a death sentence for them. You know, Sheamus, King Sheamus, and I will say these names and you won't remember them because they were terrible. King Sheamus, King Barrett, and now King Corbin. It didn't work for any of them. It hasn't benefited either of them. And it's that idea of, wow, he is heat, pal. He is heat, and if you're booing him, that's a good thing. But times have changed, times have evolved, and there are different types of heat. There are different types of heat. There is one thing saying, you know what, I hate this wrestler. I can't wait to see him get the hell kicked out of him or her. and I will pay money to watch them lose. There is a second kind of heat of, I can't stand this person, I'm going to change the channel because I hate, not necessarily the person, I just hate the gimmick and the creative so much that I'm going to change the channel. And that's the situation. That's the situation when it comes to that King gimmick. That's just me. Franklin, hi, how you doing? He says, how do I get USA on Fox? I don't know. I don't really know what you mean there, Franklin. Over here, it's on BT Sport in the UK. If you're over in the UK, SmackDown is going to be on BT Sport. So what else has been going on? I mean, we could do like a 10-hour stream about all the craziness that's been going on in the world of WWE and pro wrestling. We did a video earlier today talking about the Twitch situation when it comes to WWE. I mean, I'm questioning whether I should bring it up again because it will get me very, very annoyed and very, very angry because it's such a BS situation that it's just outrageous. It's just outrageous. Taking money out of the pockets of independent contractors, yes, you heard that, out of their pockets during a pandemic, saying they can't make a bit of extra money on the side. In the case of Paige, she can't even wrestle anymore. She's retired. She is retired because she broke her neck twice for that company. And when you hear her talk about her Twitch stream, if anything, the money is almost secondary. As she mentioned, it's chump change to a publicly traded billion-dollar company, but they need to control every facet of what a WWE talent does. Even though they are independent contractors and not employees, they don't get benefits, they don't get health benefits, they don't get dental benefits, they have to pay their own trans, they have to pay for their hotels, they have to pay for their own food while they're on the road. And WWE wants to control all of their outside booking and uses of third-party services, even though, right? And again, this is what just baffled me when I was talking about this on social media. People said, "Well, I did the analogy of if Robert Downey Jr. opened up, a Twitch stream, or whatever. That's the same as Marvel going, no, sorry, Rob, can't have that, get rid of it." And they couldn't, and they wouldn't, because they're not psychos, they're not crazy. And they don't want to control everything. And then some of the responses I got to that was, well, if Robert Downey Jr. was dressed as Iron Man and he's doing it on a Twitch stream, well, I never said he was. I never said he was. And in the cases, if you want to revert it back to WWE, in the cases of Paige and Cesaro, you've got Zariah Davis doing these Twitch streams, not Paige. You've got Claudio Castagnoli, not Cesaro, doing these Twitch streams. So you can't control the real person. You don't own the person's real name. As much as Vince McMahon thinks he owns the people's real name, he doesn't. He doesn't own the person. He owns the name and the character of Cesaro and Paige, and that's it. If you have Claudio Castagnoli sitting there calling himself Claudio, it's called Claudio's Cafe. Vince McMahon doesn't own that. And if he thinks, well, I own the likeness of Cesaro, well, no, because it's a character. It's this independent contractor, intellectual property, just bullying that they just, as soon as their talent starts making some money, then it doesn't go straight into the WWE's pocket. Vince McMahon throws a hissy fit and goes, oh, no, I can't, no. How dare they? How dare they take some money from the WWE or make some money on their own? Becomes, independent, self-sufficient, and realize, hey, I don't need the WWE. If you're Paige right now, if I mentioned it at the end of the video, if I was Paige right now, I'd say, I don't need this. I can't wrestle anymore. I haven't been on TV in over a year. They asked me to do media appearances. I make a good living from Twitch streaming, and I've got like over 1 million followers on Instagram, so I'll do very, very well there. Just, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's not worth it. But anyway, rant over. SmackDown is just starting. I'm already out of breath because that rant... I had a list of things that I've written down that I wanted to get through before the show started, and I just got so angry on the Twitch stuff again. Because it's so annoying. But SmackDown is just about to start. So we've got the Hell in a Cell Fallout show for SmackDown. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If you're excited for SmackDown tonight, smash a like on the like button. That really just helps us out here on YouTube. Super chats are open as well. If you want to donate to the channel, it's much, much appreciated. You can do that by clicking the $ in the live chat right now. Any contributions to the channel are very much appreciated. As we are inside the WWE ThunderDome, and we have Roman Reigns start off the show here. We're starting off with a Roman Reigns promo. You wonder what the reaction would be for Roman Reigns if there was a live crowd right now, because obviously every time Roman Reigns previously in the live crowds when he made an appearance, he'd get the mixed reaction, right? You get the cheers and the boos. I almost feel like now if there was a live crowd, he'd just get absolutely universally cheered, because that's just how this stuff works. As Roman Reigns has his Edge pyro, I mean, that pyro that Roman Reigns has really does rival Edge's Rated R Superstar pyro, doesn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. Roman Reigns is just in killer shape as well. He's in the absolute best shape of his life. And this character of Roman Reigns, it's absolutely, I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? I mean, universally acclaimed, it's just absolutely brilliant. And his performance at Hell in a Cell was something else. The match, you know, as I mentioned in the Hell in a Cell watch along, I mentioned it during the stream, that the match itself was not like the nuts and bolts of it, the holds and all the spots, the near falls. It wasn't that amazing. It wasn't. But the drama was fantastic. But Jey Uso's already in the ring. Jey Uso is in the ring already, and he's expected to fall in line to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, of course, the tribal chief. There were consequences mentioned, weren't there, during as the pre-match stipulation for the match at Hell in a Cell, being that if Jey Uso lost, if he quit, I believe his family, his brother, his children, his children's children would be banished from the family. But also they're saying that the consequences were that Jey Uso must become subservient to Roman Reigns. So I'm guessing we'll have more of that and find out what these consequences truly are. This will be very, very interesting to say the least about where they go with this, because I don't think this storyline is over yet. I really don't. That's what is going to be interesting about this, is that this, of course, was meant to be a one-match, one-pay-per-view story. It was only meant to go to Clash of Champions, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, but now we've got Clash of Champions, Hell in a Cell, and as we will see on SmackDown tonight, I don't think this is over just yet. Let's check the chat. Lars attacks Steph. I mean, it's possible they're two heels, so I doubt that. CM Punk says, The Fiend put a mandible claw on King Corbin. Well, they're on different brands, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Kevin says, can Matt Riddle get his name back like Apollo and Mustafa Ali? Well, you mentioned Apollo there. He was Apollo for a while, wasn't he? Then he was Apollo Crews again. Mustafa Ali became Ali for a while, and then he's Mustafa Ali now. By all accounts, the reason that they dropped the Matt Riddle name, in addition to being Vince McMahon's fascination with one-name people, but by all accounts as well, is Vince McMahon didn't want people Googling Matt Riddle and then seeing all of these speaking out allegations and the lawsuit against him and WWE. So by reducing his name to just Riddle, I guess they would avoid that. As far as a reason goes, that is the most bizarre thing. He obviously doesn't realise how search terms or SEO works. If someone types in Riddle to find Matt Riddle, they will see the news stories about Matt Riddle, regardless of his first name or not. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Kevin also says, so Tucker is back on SmackDown. I saw that, but I think he's been moved back to Raw on the WWE.com roster page. I think that's changed. But we're seeing a recap of the match at Hell in a Cell. We're seeing a recap of the match at Hell in a Cell this past weekend. We're 5 minutes in and we're already getting recap packages, which is just peak and typical WWE, isn't it? We're seeing the finish of the match at Hell in a Cell. So if you didn't watch Hell in a Cell, don't worry, because we're just going to repeat it here on SmackDown. We're seeing the finish where Roman Reigns hooked in the guillotine onto Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso quit. Of course, leading to the consequences and stipulation that we're going to see tonight on SmackDown. You see the absolute brilliant reactions by Roman Reigns in this. I mean, this, in terms of an acting job, and then you see the Wild Samoas there, Afa and Sika, who officially anointed Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. But you see the acting range of Roman Reigns there. Just, that is something else. The guy was in tears, shaking in the ring. Once the bell rings and it's over, he's got just the deadest look in his face. Just nothing, no emotion. It was just fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As we're back in the ring now, Paul Heyman's got the mic, but it's been ripped out of Paul Heyman's hand by Jey Uso. As I mentioned, this feud ain't over yet, guys. This feud isn't over yet. Jey says, "You did not beat me." Kind of did, though. Jey, hate to break it to you. Jey is fighting back tears. He said, "I don't care how hard you beat me. I would never say I quit." But he did. He kind of did, Jey. So, sorry. But he keeps saying that Roman Reigns didn't beat him Sunday, and Roman Reigns, rightfully so, is saying, "You can make all the excuses you want, I won." Which is how it works. Roman Reigns talked about saying that he was going to make Jey Uso quit, and that's exactly what he did. He quit. He quit. That's how the match works. That's how the match works, guys, isn't it? You quit. Game over. And he's telling Jey Uso to accept the membership and fall in line. Hey, that's what you got to do. And Jey Uso saying it's a snake move. It's a snake move. Just like when they were kids. Jey Uso is pacing and saying that it's just like when they were kids, trying to one-up him all the time. When they were kids then, they were having Hell in a Cell matches, which is fun. Putting each other in guillotines. And Jey Uso saying that the Universal Championship has Roman Reigns tripping. Whatever that means. But Jey Uso, he certainly stepped up in terms of his promos. His promos and just his character work in this feud has been brilliant. And Jey Uso saying that he attacked the only person that he would say I quit for, his brother. And Roman Reigns' response to this brilliantly is, "Of course I did." That's the way to win. That's the way to win. And this feud is just. It's just brilliant, isn't it? It's just fantastic. The promos here are fantastic. Roman Reigns is brilliant. Jey Uso is stepping up to the plate when it comes to his promos, just the way that he's had his matches, the emotion, the drama, the grittiness. This is my kind of pro wrestling. This is my kind of pro wrestling. It's absolutely fantastic. And Roman Reigns is saying that the consequences are real. Roman Reigns is speaking about seeing the Wild Samoans there, the eldest, the highest of the chiefs. And Reigns talks about how they all back Reigns in opposition to Jey Uso. And Jey Uso must fall in line, otherwise he is out of the family. I'm a bit confused because I'm not sure what these consequences are. And Roman Reigns is getting in the face of Jey Uso, basically saying, "What can you do?" Roman Reigns is talking in a very hushed tone, saying, "What can you do?" And Jey Uso just says, "I hate you." Man. Jey Uso is got passion, got emotion. He's saying, "I hate you." He is falling in line, kicking and screaming, which I guess is the way that you would. I mean, just because you lost, you wouldn't completely fall in line. It's just pure frustration from the part of Jey Uso. It's real. This is just like when they were kids. And Jey Uso is playing this to perfection. And Roman Reigns once again is going full Vito Corleone, going Godfather, saying that I love you. Jey Uso's got tears in his eyes. Roman Reigns is saying, by the end of the night, I guess Jey Uso is going to have to fall in line. So we've got a narrative thread throughout the show, which is absolutely how any professional wrestling show should go along. It should have a narrative thread throughout the line, and that was great. Just the little bits there. So Roman Reigns, again, he's gone full Godfather, saying by the end of the night, you're going to have to fall in line, and talking in that very hushed tone, talking in that very reserved tone, and then just as he's leaving, he just caresses the back of the head of Jey Uso. Once again, it's just that little thing like that. is the body language, it's the little mannerisms, it's the little bits that tell the biggest stories and help continue the story. And that is just fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Good promo there to start the show. As I mentioned at Hell in the Sound, I mentioned at the top of the stream, I don't think this feud is over. Obviously not yet. But you wonder where this is going towards the end of the show, because obviously the storyline here is that Jey Uso has to fall in line. Jey Uso has to fall in line to Roman Reigns. And that's, I'm guessing, is going to be the main event segment, maybe, even though that Jey Uso has a match against Daniel Bryan tonight, as they're just showing on the screen now. But so I'm guessing that's going to be the main event segment. So something's happening. Something's happening in that main event segment. Either Jey Uso falls in line, maybe he fights back, or maybe someone comes to try and save the day for Jey Uso. But coming up next, we have Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler in a Survivor Series qualifying match, which is certainly going to be very, very interesting as we're into commercial now. So what did everyone think about that opening segment? Certainly an interesting and gritty way to open Friday Night SmackDown. Enjoyed that promo. Again, it's another chapter of this fantastic Roman Reigns and Jey Uso feud, isn't it? If you enjoyed the opening segment, please smash a like on the like button. Really just help us out here on YouTube, go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds. Let's see how many subscribers we're on right now. We have and see if we'll put an aim. We'll put an aim to see if how many subscribers we're looking for tonight. So we're currently on 1,117. Let's aim for 1130. Let's aim for 1,130. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now. Anyone that is new, you're very much welcome here. All opinions are welcome here on the channel. We're doing a lot more watch-alongs at the moment, so we're going to be doing watch-alongs for Raw on Mondays, SmackDown on Fridays, AEW or NXT on Wednesdays. We've got some big pay-per-view events coming up soon as well. Of course, we've got Full Gear, AEW Full Gear coming in a few weeks as well. So we'll be doing a watch-along for that. Obviously, Survivor Series next month as well in November, one of the biggest shows of the year. We'll be doing a watch-along for that too. And we also upload daily videos about all the latest wrestling news and news going on in WWE and all of that great stuff. So if you are new, please do subscribe. Click the bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned earlier as well, Super Chats are open. You can do that by clicking the $ in the live chat. Any donations or contributions to the channel are very much welcome. That was a great opening segment. Really, really good opening segment. Really, really enjoyed that. That storyline is obviously continuing. But what do we think is going to happen for the rest of the night then, I guess? Because as I mentioned, Jey Uso is all over this show. Because he is in the opening segment with Roman Reigns there. He's got the match with Daniel Bryan, the Survivor Series qualifying match, which I'm assuming he's not going to win there. I don't think he's going to win that one. So you've got the match against Daniel Bryan, and then obviously he has till the end of the night to fall in line when it comes to Roman Reigns. So if you think he will fall in line, click a like on the like button. I don't think we're going to see Jey Uso, getting down on one knee or anything like that, or bowing if you were to Roman Reigns by the end of the night. I think, if anything, what we're going to see, we'll probably see two outcomes here. One outcome is that Jey Uso fights back. And if Jey Uso fights back, says, no, I'm not falling in line, just goes to hell with the consequences, I'll fight back. Or I suppose what they could do is they could have Roman Reigns immediately come out after the Jey Uso-Daniel Bryan match. Jey Uso is about to fall in line, then Daniel Bryan steps up to Roman Reigns. That begins a Daniel Bryan-Roman Reigns feud over the Universal Championship. I think that potentially could happen there. I think that maybe that's a way that they go. Because let's face it, when you come to challengers about who could be the next challenger for Roman Reigns, there aren't many like top babyfaces on SmackDown. I think Daniel Bryan is one of them, as we're just about to come back, I think, for SmackDown in a couple of seconds. So I think that's the way that they'll go with it. I can't see Jey Uso falling in line. Is that really going to happen? I don't think that will happen. I just don't think that'll happen. But the story isn't over. The story isn't over, and of course Roman Reigns already has an opponent. for Survivor Series, he is going to be facing the WWE Champion Randy Orton. It's SmackDown versus Raw. So we're having the SmackDown Universal Champion Roman Reigns facing the WWE Champion Randy Orton at Survivor Series. No NXT involved this year at Survivor Series, which sucks, but as I mentioned previously, I think that's due to the constant outbreaks that we're getting at the Performance Center. I just don't think they want to be mixing the NXT superstars with Raw and SmackDown, because it's a lot of cross-contamination there, potentially. But we see Kevin Owens coming out now. It's a Survivor Series qualifying match. So we've got Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm thinking Kevin Owens will win this one. I'd be very surprised if Dolph Ziggler won. I think also as well, if you have Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan on the same Survivor Series team, we saw last week, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago, about Kevin Owens teasing about possibly teaming with Daniel Bryan in the future. I think that looks like you could have Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan be team captains for the Survivor Series SmackDown men's team. So I think potentially that's where we could be going with that. Kevin Owens also as well, he's changed his gear up in recent weeks, hasn't he? He no longer competes in the fight shorts. He competes in just Kevin Owens' regular attire, shirt, taped up fist, and he wears jeans now. So I'm sure that rubs people the wrong way, doesn't it? I'm sure it absolutely rubs people the wrong way. As here comes Dolph Ziggler. He's got a presidential seal on the back of his jacket. Yeah. That's next week as well, isn't it? Robert Roode is wearing a leather jacket as well. Look at Robert Roode all dressed up. They got matching leather jackets. They're like the Hart Foundation. Kevin says, can WWE bring The Rock back to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 37? It's absolutely a possibility. There's no doubt WWE wants to do it. It's just a case of, does The Rock want to do it is one thing. And two, can The Rock do it? Can he fit it in his schedule? I think it's a possibility. It'd be certainly a great way to having fans back in the stadium. But let's be honest, the way of the world right now, is that really a possibility? We'll have to wait and see. Who knows what the world will look like as we get to April. Brian says this all sets up for The Rock to come back. Well, I think that's what they would want. And I'm sure Roman Reigns wants it. And to be honest, I'm sure The Rock would love to do it. It's just, like I said, it's just a case of can they make that work in terms of the schedule and the time frame. But we got Dolph Ziggler rolling to the outside after a start with Kevin Owens here. We got some sort of Halloween style ring posts and a bit of flecks of orange throughout this show, because obviously Halloween is tomorrow night. So, WWE, they love their themes. I would be stunned if we don't get at some point tonight, some form of Halloween match, because they always do. Halloween trick or treat street fight or trick or street fight. I mean, maybe because we had Halloween Havoc on Wednesday, they might just hang back from that. We've got our fix of WWE related Halloween stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. But we got Dolph Ziggler has gained a bit of control here over Kevin Owens. It definitely looks odd, doesn't it? I think Kevin Owens just not wearing ring attire anymore, really. He just wears the same attire that he wears when he does the KO shows. He just wears the same attire that he does, I guess, when he's walking in the street. Just shirt, cut off sleeves. The only difference is the tape. But apart from that, Kevin Owens, he just competes in jeans now. I guess it adds to his sort of look and feel as a bit of an everyman. I guess that's what people relate to Kevin Owens about, is just this everyman. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Kevin Owens as a babyface. Kevin Owens is a very, very likeable guy, and Kevin Owens is a lot of fun on a promo, and he does great matches as well. But Kevin Owens' best position for me is as a heel. He is just his best position as a heel. But I suppose his problem is that, for me, Kevin Owens has almost entered sort of Mick Foley territory, in that he's just such a likeable guy outside the ring, and everyone just loves his humour and just loves the Kevin Owens, the real man, the personality, that it's almost at this point, I guess, maybe hard to be a heel for him. That he's likeable. Kevin Owens on the outside just gets blindsided by Robert Roode in his trendy leather jacket. Oh damn! It looks like, I think Robert Roode looks to have split his. Is he split his pants? Or is that like a label on the back? But he's just been thrown out. Maybe he's been thrown out because of the leather jacket. The ref just went, oh, that leather jacket, get out of here. Get out of here. Go back and change. It looks like you rip your pants. Get out of there. Get out of there. But Robert Roode's been sent to the back, so we have an even setting between Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens. Not much to write home about in terms of the match so far. As I mentioned, Kevin Owens is my prediction to win this one, but we'll have to wait and see on that, because I think the idea, like I floated a minute ago, is I think it makes sense that we'll have Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan be co-team captains there, I would have thought. So if you think Kevin Owens is going to win, smash a like on the like button. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As mentioned, the target tonight is 1,130 subscribers. If we can get there, currently on 1,117. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed recently. It's much, much appreciated. As I mentioned, we'll be doing a lot more watch-alongs and live streams, a lot of really big stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. Also, as well, you have to factor in is that I mentioned there's a lot of news stories going on at the moment when it comes to WWE and lots of other stuff. So if you are subscribed to the channel and you've got that notification bell clicked, you're going to be seeing a lot more videos coming on, because there's a lot of news going on. As I mentioned about the Twitch drama when it comes to WWE right now, there was more stories always breaking about that. There was a report that a lot of superstars had met with Vince McMahon, pleading for him, to please don't do the whole Twitch stuff, and those requests fell on deaf ears, unfortunately. But also as well, we had there was then reports saying that there might be a meeting held at today's TV taping, the SmackDown taping. If the rewrites are happening, I don't know, this close to TV time, maybe it's not the case. But yeah, so lots of stories like that are happening at the moment. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and you won't miss a single thing. Kevin says, what was your favourite cinematic match? Oof. That is a tough one, Kevin. That is a really, real tough one. Obviously, 2020 has been the year of the cinematic matches. I think they've maybe been slightly overdone, but, difficult circumstances, you have to do what you can. I would probably say my favourite one, it has to be the Boneyard match between AJ Styles and The Undertaker. I thought it's obviously one of the first ones they did this year. Obviously, I really enjoyed the Broken Hardy stuff, the sort of, I wouldn't say the originators of the cinematic match, because they have been around for a while longer than that. I enjoyed the, was it the Final Deletion, Ultimate Deletion? Love that stuff. Delete and Decay. I thought that was great in Impact. But I think my favourite has to be the Boneyard match. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was just brilliant. And hopefully it is The Undertaker's final match. Of course, Survivor Series is 30 years of The Undertaker, and The Undertaker will be there. So maybe we have one more Undertaker match coming. It won't be at Survivor Series though. It'll be at WrestleMania next year if it does happen, but we'll have to wait and see. As we're back on SmackDown now, Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens. I forgot to change the graphic for the entire opening of the match. Can't believe myself. Slap myself on the wrist. Brian says Sasha can leave WWE tomorrow. She's great in The Mandalorian, and Disney have greenlit a third season. Well, it doesn't take a genius to see correlations there. I mentioned this during the Hell in a Cell watch along and a couple of videos I've done about Sasha Banks and Bayley, that it's no coincidence that WWE have put the SmackDown Women's Championship on Sasha Banks days before the second season of The Mandalorian debuts on Disney Plus, because obviously a lot of people are going to be talking about Sasha Banks. A lot of people are going to be talking about her. She is going to be in mainstream media. People that weren't familiar with her before are about to become very, very familiar with Sasha Banks. So once they go on her Instagram profile or her Twitter account, and then she see, wait a minute, not only is she a wrestler for WWE, but she's the champion, then that brings more eyeballs over to the product. So I think that's why, that's a factor. That's certainly a factor, and I think that's why they sped up that Bayley and Sasha Banks match, and certainly sped up the title change as well. As Kevin Owens is laying in some chops on Ziggler, but Ziggler is fighting back here. Whips KO off the ropes. Reverse Irish whip. And a big kick there by Dolph Ziggler. And looks like we've got an inverted atomic drop. Oh, an inverted atomic drop and a clothesline by KO. Who just hits a running senton there on Dolph Ziggler as well. Remember, the winner of this match qualifies for the men's SmackDown Survivor Series team. You've got to love those. Traditional Survivor Series tag team matches are always a lot of fun. A lot of drama. The best one, well, not the best, that's the best one, that is a blanket statement, but one of my favourites in recent history, of course, was the men's Team SmackDown versus Team Raw Survivor Series elimination match in 2016. Oh my god. What was that? It looked like a version of a sort of air raid crash mixed between a crucifix. That was pretty badass there by Kevin Owens. Only got a 2 count though on Ziggler. John Elite for Life says, why is NXT not involved in this year's Survivor Series? I think the pandemic. I think it's because of the pandemic. We've seen a lot of breakouts at the WWE Performance Center, and they don't want to do cross-contamination. It's also been floated by the likes of Dave Meltzer, who mentioned that is probably the main reason. He also mentioned that it might be because NXT loses every week to AEW in the ratings. I think that's Dave Meltzer just sort of mentioning AEW, to be honest. But KO just went for a swanton. Dolph Ziggler got his knees up, only for a 2 count though. WWE Awesome Fan says, I think it's a one-time only thing. Well, if everything is normal, and I say if because, I mean, who knows when normal will be coming, but if everything is more back to normal next year, then that will be the indicator of if NXT will be back involved. We don't even know how long the NXT deal is with the USA Network as well. They wouldn't mention that during the third quarter earnings call. One person asked, how long is that deal with the USA Network, and they wouldn't give a date on it. Ziggler's going for a super kick, but KO's hit a super kick of his own. Ziggler is going to be thrown. Here we go. Pop-up powerbomb. Oh, it's reversed into a famouser by Ziggler. 1, 2, and a kick out by KO. Who doesn't love a famouser? Nice sequence there by Ziggler and KO. KO goes to throw Ziggler. Well, it first off started off with a super kick by Ziggler. KO hits a super kick of his own, throws Ziggler into the ropes, goes for a pop-up powerbomb, but it's reversed mid-air into a famouser by Dolph Ziggler. Really nice sequence by Ziggler and KO there. Really nice. I always find it funny as well, the referee in this match is Rudy Charles. And if you're a long-time Impact fan or a long-time TNA fan, then you know that obviously he was at one point such a big referee for TNA and for Impact. Was always part of the Thanksgiving turkey matches as well, and a bit of a comedy figure. Rudy Charles, great ref. KO's going for a sunset flip. Ziggler's countered, but KO has reversed into a pin of his own. We're looking for multiple pinfalls here, but they always kick out at 2. Ziggler goes for a super kick. Kevin Owens, stunner. Oh my god, what a sow job by Dolph Ziggler. That'll be it. And Kevin Owens has qualified for the SmackDown Men's Survivor Series Tag Team. So Kevin Owens gets the win. Predictable. Fun match though. Solid TV match. Dolph Ziggler can sell the hell out of anything, but he sold the hell out of that stunner. Nice stunner by Kevin Owens. At least we're going to get Kevin Owens on a pay-per-view. When was the last time we're getting Kevin Owens having pay-per-view matches? He wasn't at Hell in a Cell. Was he at Clash of Champions? I don't think he was. He wasn't at. He wasn't on the SummerSlam card. He did commentary for the Street Profits match. So at least finally, we're going to get Kevin Owens on a pay-per-view. Finally. So Kevin Owens is the first member of the men's Team SmackDown Survivor Series team. Kevin Owens has just grabbed the microphone of Michael Cole and said that SmackDown is about to become the KO show at Survivor Series. I hope Michael Cole washes that microphone, or KO washes his hands after that, man. But we've also got another qualifying match coming tonight as well. We've got Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso coming tonight too, which is going to be a fun match. I think we're going to have Daniel Bryan win that match, and then we're going to have the tag team of KO and Daniel Bryan as co-captains for Survivor Series. I think that's what we're going to be looking at. Let's check the chat. WWE Awesome Fan 123 says, come on Kevin Owens. Brian says, off topic, the next couple of months will not be good for League One football clubs about to fall like dominoes. Obviously referencing, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, if you're from the UK, over here in the UK, basically we're going into lockdown in the next couple of days. Rui Ribeiro says, what do you think The Fiend will be doing at Survivor Series since he doesn't have a match? Maybe a stare down with Taker. I think you're right. I think I could see something like that. It depends. We're going to find out. Basically, we're going to find out what's the situation with The Undertaker's future at Survivor Series. As I mentioned, it's 30 years of The Undertaker. He's going to be there. So, as you mentioned, The Fiend doesn't have anything yet. I don't think he's going to be part of the men's Survivor Series team or anything like that. Maybe we have a stare down with The Undertaker. If we do, obviously people will be talking about a potential WrestleMania match between The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. Personally, I hope The Undertaker stays retired. I think the Boneyard match was the best way for him to end. He mentioned, and if you watch the Last Ride docuseries, that basically the reason he kept coming back for these last few years is because every time he came back, he wanted to have the match that was the perfect way to retire. And every time he had a match, the match sucked. Why? Because, it's going to sound horrible, but he can't go anymore. He just can't go. And certainly not like he used to anyway. So he was never going to have that perfect match. He never was. And he was chasing something that, in my opinion, was unattainable. And that was perfection. At his age, with the mileage on the clock and the injuries and the beaten up body and all that sort of stuff, he was looking for perfection. And it was never going to happen. So every time he came back and he would have the terrible matches, DX, Goldberg, Roman Reigns, all of this stuff, it didn't work. And because of the pandemic, he came back because he was going to face AJ Styles, and his mindset was, if anyone can pull a match out of me at this point in my career and give me that perfect final match for me to end on, it's AJ Styles. And obviously the intention was to have that match in a sold-out stadium, Raymond James Stadium, 60,000, 70,000 people there, and that was going to be the ending for The Undertaker. Now, if that match was a regular match inside of a WWE ring, would it have been as good as the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36 with no fans in attendance? I don't think it would. It just wouldn't have. And the Boneyard match obviously was forced on them because of the circumstances of the pandemic, but I think it was the best option. It was the best version of that we were ever going to see. And I think there probably is some part of The Undertaker now that's thinking, wow, I didn't have my final match in front of fans, and maybe I should come back, and maybe I do want to have one last proper match in front of fans. Is that going to be against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 37? If it is that match going to be amazing? I don't think so. Was their match at WrestleMania 31 amazing? Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. Actually, before it, Bray Wyatt had nearly shattered his ankle. He was actually on a walking cast throughout the day, so maybe that was part of the quality there. But is it going to be amazing? I don't think so. Maybe he comes back just to pass the torch, but what if that match is a disaster again? What if he comes back and that match is just terrible? Does he start the cycle all over again? Does he start going, well, I've got to come back now because the match was terrible and I've got to do more again? He's in a good position at this point. He doesn't need it. And at what point do you start saying to yourself, you're just looking for reasons to come back now? Well, I didn't have any fans, or my last match wasn't great, or no, I can come back and do the match in Saudi Arabia. It's a lot of money, or I'm chasing this, I'm chasing that. I just feel like I don't think it's needed. But Roy, I think you're right. I think if Bray Wyatt's left off there and he had the number in his Mad Hatter hat on Raw, was it 11-19, which is actually The Undertaker's debut, not at Survivor Series. He made his debut as Kane The Undertaker on an episode of WWE Superstars on the 19th of November 1990. It's not the Survivor Series date, it's the WWE Superstars date, so it's a possibility. Glenn Yang says, Trump is talking about leaving the country if he loses because he has or will sell national security secrets to Russia to pay for his $4 million debt. Oh, well, very political, Glenn. Very political for a WWE stream. WWE Awesome Fan says, finally Kevin is on the pay-per-view. Yeah, finally we get KO back on a pay-per-view. As we're just about to be back from commercial here, we're seeing a WWEshop.com commercial. Don't go to WWEshop.com. Get your WrestleDudes 365 merchandise. Link is in the description box below. You'll be helping out the channel if you do. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, as we have Natalia backstage talking to Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce. And Natalia wants to be SmackDown team captain, but there's Billie Kay. Billie Kay has got her headshot and her resume there as well, but it's been snatched out of the hands. This is pretty much an exact rehash of the Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax promo on Monday, isn't it? Is it not? Well, here comes Bianca Belair. So you've got Bianca Belair and Natalia and Billie Kay saying who wants to be the on the SmackDown Women's team and SmackDown team captain. Who does have the better SmackDown Women's roster at this point? Is it Raw or SmackDown? Would probably say SmackDown. If Raw had all of their stars back, I would probably argue Raw. Raw's missing Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Pretty big names to be missing. But Adam Pearce has said none of the bickering is going to get any of them on the squad. So we're going to have the match with the winner earning their way onto the team. So I guess Bianca Belair is going to be on the team because Bianca Belair is not losing this match. I think that is definitely going to happen there. Adam Pearce, can we just make him like give him an actual title at this point? Does he have to be WWE official? Can he not be like the commissioner? He might as well be a commissioner. Or call him the president or something fun again. Make him Jack Tunney. Or make him William Regal, commissioner. You know what I mean? Just because you're, an authority figure doesn't mean you have to be involved in the show. I think they found the perfect balance and shown that there is a need. Oh, God. Corey Graves is doing a sit-down interview with Lars Sullivan with his beard with Just for Men on it. Corey Graves asked Lars Sullivan if it's okay if he calls him Lars. And Lars says, that's very considerate of you. Wouldn't you mind calling him the Freak? It seems, this whole point is that Lars Sullivan is meant to be intimidating. It seems a lot less intimidating once he starts talking. Definitely seems a lot less intimidating when he starts talking. Lars Sullivan, to be honest, it's incredible that he's still on TV at this point and still with the company. Whether it's not the stuff posted on those bodybuilding forums, whether it's the messages on Instagram and all that other stuff. They're trying to do a bit of a Mick Foley situation here, I think, and having the origins of people calling him the Freak. He talks about the kids at school calling him Freak Show. And he's talking about no one helping him, no one knowing what to do. It's very difficult to take this seriously. Very, very difficult to take it seriously. And I was talking about crying. It's meant to be a heel because this promo is a babyface promo. You're trying to get sympathy on him. He's talking about crying at school because they called him a freak show and all the kids laughing at him when he cried. And apparently the teachers laughing at him when he was crying. Great school that he went to. Now he's laughing. Maybe he's laughing because he realises, oh, I'm still employed. How's that happened? He says the laughing stopped, but the screaming continued for hours. This is very, very odd. Man, this interview's going along. This is very... Now he's talking about getting humiliated and pain of anyone that gets in their way. This is terrible. This is terrible. And the ring is his own personal playground. Now he's going to make this world... He's going to make the world his own personal hell on earth. Well, I must say, that was... that was... how is the best and polite way to do this and the most constructive of criticisms to give there? That was terrible. That was terrible. My God. I mean, I'm actually lost for words. I always try to, when they're doing promos or when you got things going on in the ring, I always like to keep trying to talk. You don't want to have dead air during a stream. But at points during that, I had to stop and listen because I thought, what on earth was that? What on earth was that? First of all, as soon as he starts talking, he is, not intimidating in the slightest. There's not much you can change about that, but his voice and the way that he talks is not intimidating. Get this guy a mouthpiece. Get this guy off social media. Get this guy off TV. But what was that? And then he's talking about the kids laughing at him in school, which you would only say if you're like a babyface. And now he's basically saying that he's attacking people and hurting people to get revenge for that. And maybe he gets the heat there because the segment was terrible. Whoever produced that and whoever wrote that, that is a segment. I mentioned about it being written 25 minutes, about 2 hours before they went on the air. That looked like a segment that was written 2 hours ago because that was awful. There is a lot of hate for Lars Sullivan on social media anyway, deserved or not. I think elements of it absolutely are. Those comments on the bodybuilding forum were absolutely horrific and abhorrent. They were awful. And the response to that, which I found just eye-rolling, is the response to that is people said, well, people change. That was a long time ago, so let's not judge Lars Sullivan because people can change. And then a couple of months ago, he's messaging inappropriate messages on Instagram harassing women. Apparently people can't change. Apparently people can't actually cut a promo. Apparently people can't talk. Apparently people can't act. I don't know if he work either. But Vince McMahon, by all accounts, is absolutely in love with the guy. Maybe Lars was messaging him on Instagram as well. But it's just... what was that? What was that? And I just know, I haven't even checked social media. I don't usually check social media that much when I'm doing the streams because, you're multitasking, you're checking the live comments, you're checking SmackDown, so it's difficult to check social media as well. But I just know for a fact that social media is going, what on earth is this? What on earth is that? If you thought that was terrible, though, smash a like on the like button. Really just help us out here. As I mentioned previously, super chats are open. You click the $sign. Any donations and contributions to the channel are very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe as well. You can do that clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen. We're aiming for 1,130 subscribers tonight. See if we can hit that goal. If we can, that would be amazing. Thank you everyone that has subscribed or is new to the channel. As I mentioned, doing a lot of more watch-alongs. Next watch-along will be on Monday for Monday Night Raw. So we'll see the next step on the road to Survivor Series, which will be certainly very, very interesting. And also before then we do daily videos as well. Posted 2 videos today on the channel talking about the Twitch drama with WWE. Also did an Impact video. We do daily Impact Wrestling videos as well. So if you're a fan of Impact, we've got you covered there. Looked on the suspects of who shot Johnny Bravo. What a fantastic segment that was. What an absolutely brilliant segment that was. Brian says, I hate this, which is obviously a reference to the Lars Sullivan promo, and hopefully not the stream. But no, it was, sorry, that was before. It was for the Lars Sullivan deal. That was awful. As we're back live now, obviously Halloween is tomorrow, and they're showing a tweet of Mario Lopez dressing up as Ric Flair, and his family dressing up as WWE superstars, The Fiend, Sasha Banks, and his son is dressed up as Otis there, and it is the best costume. It is. That is absolutely, honestly, the Otis costume is very, very good. As we have Bianca Belair in the ring, it's a Survivor Series qualifying match between Bianca Belair, Natalya, and Billie Kay, I think. I think Bianca Belair is surely going to win this match. I'm glad to see that she's actually finally getting used because... She wasn't getting used on Raw, and that's just a crime. It's just a crime. But we're seeing another recap package because it's WWE, and they know no one watches the show, so they have to have a recap package every 5 seconds. But we're seeing a recap package of Seth Rollins versus Murphy, which was just absolutely should have been on a pay-per-view. It was fantastic. As part of the Seth Rollins, Murphy, Mysterio storyline with Alea Mysterio watching backstage as well. It was a brilliant match. It was an absolutely brilliant match. It really, really was. A strange timing to air this promo package, unless something is happening in this Survivor Series qualifying match that would link into this. Very odd placement. Why would you have this here? We're going to have a Survivor Series female qualifying match between Bianca Belair, Natalya, and Billie Kay. But before we get into it, let's have a recap package of Murphy versus Seth Rollins last week with Alea Mysterio getting involved. Bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Just odd. Rey Mysterio, I think, is on the road to recovery, though. By all accounts, he mentioned that his he had a torn triceps, but that he's recovered quite quickly from it, even though that tear took place just after Payback, so that was at the end of August. We're at the end of October now, and looks to be recovering soon from it. Obviously, a lot faster than Edge. I think it was different tears. But we have Alea Mysterio backstage with Murphy. Alea says that she spoke to her mum about it, but she's very open-minded and she just wants to be happy. But says that Dominic and Rey won't even talk to Alea about it. Murphy says he's not the same person that he once was. And Murphy says he's going to go out there and publicly apologise to the Mysterio family in front of the world. And Alea says, are you sure you want to do this? And is now holding the hand of Murphy. So it looks like we're going to get a Murphy apology tonight, and looks like we are persisting with the Alea Mysterio. Is it Alea Mysterio and Murphy storyline, in that we are getting full Romeo and Juliet. We're getting full Romeo and Juliet between Murphy and Alea, which I just again, I'm not on social media right now because I'm watching the show and I'm doing the live stream, but social media probably is just about to explode, because obviously, you know, there is the age difference deal there, and it is very creepy, isn't it? It is very creepy. Like, again, this is the thing. There's nothing obviously illegal there, but it's very, very creepy and very, very odd. I mean, is he in his 30s? I think he's in his 30s, and Alea's 18. Very, yeah. Just makes you uncomfortable watching it, doesn't it? Makes you uncomfortable watching it. But we're going to have some form of an apology by Murphy to the Mysterio family tonight. And by the way that Alea held the hand of Murphy there, potentially we could get more affection there tonight. And if that is the case, social media has a meltdown every 5 seconds anyway, but it's going to happen. It's really going to happen if that happens later on tonight. But we have a Survivor Series women's qualifying match. Bianca Belair, Natalya, and Billie Kay finally. I mean, it feels like Bianca Belair was in the ring for like 20 minutes there. I think Bianca Belair surely is going to win this one, as Natalya and Bianca Belair are in the ring right now. Bianca Belair is absolutely, just, again, fantastic talent. Absolutely superb. Just one of the best athletes on the WWE roster right now. She was another one I mentioned on the stream we did Wednesday for NXT, that I felt during her time at NXT, she would have her best time on the main roster, not in NXT, and I think that's going to be the case. Obviously, she never won the NXT Women's Championship, but I think she will win a WWE Women's Championship, as Natalya's with Billie Kay now. And Billie Kay's got some... Oh, it's good down a Hurricane Rana on Bianca Belair there. And Natalya is going to go for a suplex on Billie Kay right now. Beautiful snap suplex by Natalya, but a drop kick by Bianca Belair. Basement drop kick. If you've got basement drop kick on your Michael Cole bingo cards, tick that off. Oh my god. Springboard, handspring moonsault by Bianca Belair there, but it's been broken up by Natalya there. And Natalya has put Bianca Belair, was going for a slingshot move off the top rope. Oof. And Natalya stamps on the back between the shoulder blades of Bianca Belair and hits a drop kick. And looks like Natalya is going to set up for a sharpshooter here. Here we go. And she rolls through and she's got the sharpshooter locked in. Sharpshooter locked in, but I think Billie Kay is going to break this up. Well, Billie Kay, she's locked in sort of a version of a camel clutch. So Bianca Belair, she's got a sharpshooter and a camel clutch almost locked in. What happens if she taps? Who wins? Nobody. But Natalya has let go there, and now she's grabbed Billie Kay by the hair. But Billie Kay's managed to fight back there. Bianca Belair, though, she's back to her feet. And Billie Kay, bang, big boot. Big boot to Bianca Belair, who actually DDT'd Natalya in the process there. Bianca Belair managed to kick out there. Billie Kay, she's got a 2 count on both Belair and Natalya. Not a bad match here going on. Billie Kay's going for multiple pinfalls on both superstars. We're about to get a Billie Kay meltdown as well. Kevin Abrew says, what are your thoughts about Nikki Cross's theme song? Preferred the old one, but it's just a case of WWE getting rid of more CFO songs. Brian says, Vince on the third quarter call says we have the best writing. LOL. Yes, they have the best writing, which is Aaliyah Mysterio and Murphy in a relationship on SmackDown on Fox. The best. But Natalya has locked in a sharpshooter on Billie Kay here. I'm guessing Bianca Belair is going to break this up because she's out of shot right now. Billie Kay is... God, how long is this going on for? Bianca Belair has broken it up though. Billie Kay was in that sharpshooter for ages. Talk about burying the finish. But Billie Kay, she's rolling up Bianca Belair. Her feet are on the bottom rope. Belair kicks out though. Here we go. Bianca Belair's got her up. KOD. Kiss of Death by Bianca Belair. That will do it. And Bianca Belair has qualified for the SmackDown team at Survivor Series. Not a shocker there, but a fun match. Enjoyed that. Not a bad match at all. Bianca Belair is an absolute star in the making there. There is no doubt she is an absolute star in the making. But Bianca Belair is on the SmackDown team for Survivor Series. Absolutely deserved. She should be the first name on the SmackDown team at Survivor Series. I think she can have a big moment at Survivor Series as well. That is a moment that Bianca Belair should get like 3 or 4 eliminations and be the last woman standing in that match. That match should be built around someone like Bianca Belair. So Bianca Belair is qualified and Carmella is having a promo now. You feel like with Carmella, there was obviously so much hype about who the mystery woman was, and it was revealed to be Carmella, which everyone knew. But now it just sort of feels a bit underwhelming, doesn't it? But Carmella is there with the glass of a little bit of the bubbly. She's got a glass of champagne there, and a Polaroid camera for some reason. Says she will always win. Well, I guess will Carmella be on the SmackDown women's team as well? And Carmella once again is calling herself untouchable. A little promo there by Carmella for whatever that was worth. But here comes Murphy. Looks like we're going to get this Murphy apology to the Mysterio family right now. You know what sucks as well is that we don't have the old Murphy theme song. We had the Murphy theme, that original, like it wasn't like dubstep, but it was a really cool theme, and then they changed it to a terrible theme, and now he's got a different one. But Murphy is out with Aaliyah Mysterio, arm in arm. Yes, Aaliyah Mysterio is with Murphy, arm in arm. So get ready. Get ready for that great writing, because next we're going to have Murphy apologise to the Mysterio family. And not only are we going to have Murphy apologise to Mysterio family, but we're also going to have him with Aaliyah Mysterio in, well, get ready, because there is no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a storyline and a segment that is going to get a lot of people talking and a lot of people very, very angry. I have no doubt about that. If you're worried about what the next segment is when it comes to Aaliyah Mysterio and Murphy, be sure to click a like on the like button. If you're enjoying SmackDown so far, click a like on the like button. Really just help us out here on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. As I mentioned, the target tonight, 1,130 subscribers. We're on 1,119 so far, so only 11 to go. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Oh, I'm bracing myself. I'm almost bracing myself for what this segment is about to happen, because I don't know about you. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of the Murphy and Aaliyah Mysterio storyline, and I'm not tired of the Murphy and Aaliyah Mysterio storyline, because that hasn't been going on that long. I'm tired of the Mysterios versus Rollins storyline. This is a story that at this point has been going on since May. It's been going on since May of this year, because the Mysterio and Rollins storyline happened on the Raw post Money in the Bank. So that was back in May. We are essentially in November now. We're at the end of October and it's still going on. And yes, I understand what people might say. Well, the storyline's evolved, and now you've got Dominic Mysterio involved, and you've got the Mysterio family involved, and you've got Murphy involved, and you've got Aaliyah Mysterio involved. But I'm just tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I want Seth Rollins to be involved in someone else on SmackDown. I want Seth Rollins to, I don't know, just anyone else. I want Seth Rollins to face anyone else. I don't think he'll face Roman Reigns because they're two heels, but it's just something else. Be involved with something else. And I want to see Dominic Mysterio face other people. I don't want to see Dominic Mysterio face Murphy or Seth Rollins. Isn't that pretty much all he's faced so far? You want to see him face different people. He's a new wrestler. He's a young wrestler. He can do exciting stuff, have exciting fresh matches, and it just feels like it's overdone. And this, just to be honest, this Aaliyah Murphy deal of them being romantic is very, very disturbing. Very, very very again, it's not illegal because he's in his 30s and she's 18. It's disturbing. If this was real life, you would be like, you know what I mean? If you said, if you were in your 30s, you said, I've got a new partner, and they said, oh great, where are they from? Oh, they're from so and so. How old are they? 18. You go, jeez, seriously? You would. You absolutely would, because it's creepy. So, but here we go. This is going to get creepy very, very... I mean, if we thought it was creepy before, it's about to get very, very creepy. Because Murphy is about to apologise to the Mysterio family. There we go. Murphy says, I've got something I need to get off my chest. Says he understands why Rey and Dominic Mysterio despise him, and he's not the same person that he was. And he's done terrible things. Yeah, well, kind of being like, being with that 18-year-old daughter. And he says that he needs to apologise to Rey and Dominic face to face. There's some guy in the Thunderdome giving 2 thumbs up, so he's very creepy as well. Really creepy. He's called out the Mysterious family. It's a bad version of Romeo and Juliet that's even more disgusting, even though the ages in that was disturbing as well. But he's pleading with the Mysterios to come out so he can apologise to him. He being Murphy, of course. So here we go. Andrew Pollard says This whole Murphy and Aaliyah Mysterio storyline is like WWE making a crappy remake of Harold and Maude. But there's no Dominic and there's no Rey. They're not coming out. He says that he needs to do this. Oh, here we go. There's someone coming out, but it's not Rey Mysterio and it's not Dominic Mysterio. It's the Friday Night Messiah himself. It's Seth Rollins. Here we go. Brian says, I see a kiss coming soon. Ugh, that's my worry. You know that's where it's coming. Here comes Seth Rollins. What on earth is Seth Rollins wearing? Seth Rollins is wearing a suit jacket with no shirt. The suit jacket looks way too small for him. He's wearing like pants that don't go all the way to his ankles as well, and no socks. I mean, I think Seth Rollins is trying to look like some kind of sort of hipster here, but in reality, it looks like he's just slept in a bin. I mean, what on earth?